Okay, if you want to say we're of the earth, what color is the earth?
Different colors.
No.
It's a blue marble.
You're right. You're right to
a degree. But you have different shades of brown on actual earth. The deepest, richest, most nutrient rich part of the earth is usually a dark brown. Sometimes even close to a clayish, reddish color.
What?
All right. So, you're saying we're all of the earth, and you're saying you're relating that to us being human. You break down the word human, it literally means colored man, colored person. You would be a human. I would be a human. Now, somebody like who is just standing here would not be considered human. The reason I say that is because they have no pigment in their skin. That's right. You see how red they were when they're standing there. We have pigmentation in our skin. They have melanin. They don't. Edomites, Caucasians do not have melanin in their skin.
And they can't even stand in the sunlight as long as you can.
And we're not saying this is a thing of color. This is a thing of race. It's a thing of nations. That's what the Bible deals with, nations. So one of the main things he said to bring it back, he said that our fathers who are Africans sold their own people, Africans, into slavery, which is not true. Africans are totally different from us. They're a completely different nation. When we read that Exodus 11, it says it made a difference. The Lord, a world called God, made a difference between Egyptians and Israelites. Now, read this in the Zondervan. We're going to read, when you go into the Bible, you have a nation that is known as Ham, H-A-M. Though that nation is what you will call the so-called Africans today. Canaanites, Canaan, Put,
Montezarium,
all right, or Mizraim, all right. Those nations make up who we originally inhabited that whole continent of Africa. All those different countries.
And the clothes are all different, right?
No, they're all pretty. I mean, you have some that might be a little darker skin, a lot darker skin, like mainly the Zulus, the Philistines,
like
tall,
like
dark,
the Sudanese. They look like Manute Bol.
Like you know who Manute Bol is, basketball player. They look like him, real tall, real dark. Then you have like Moroccans, Ethiopians, who look a lot like these people that be on the sign, specifically dark people. But you can tell there's a difference there. A little light skin, their hair is a little not as coarse. All right, they look. Sometimes I've seen some look like Dominicans. I put it like that, kind of like Dominicans in a way. All right, but they were all pretty much different shades of brown, just like these people at a certain point in time. Now read that.
This is Ham, definition of Ham in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Now you know the story of Noah. You familiar with the story of Noah, the flood? So Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, their wives, got on the ark and survived the flood when it came down on earth.
Right.
Which all different cultures and countries have their story of the flood, their reference to the flood. All right? Go ahead.
I'm saying real quick, it's of no relation to that movie. They put a lot of lies into that. So, don't think about that movie. It says, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Wait, it says he became the progenitor, the father of the dark races. Now, Africans and Negroes are dark people, right? Go ahead.
Not the Negroes.
But not the Negroes. Now, if these scholars went through the Bible and figured this out, there is a difference between Africans, Egyptians, Sudanese, Philistines, and so on and so forth, and Israelites, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. He figured out there was a difference.
Right.
The Lord put a big difference between us 2 nations. The main difference is he gave us the law. The law in this Bible. He made us above these other nations. Proves that. Get that, and then somebody will get.
I was gonna bring this out real quick in Jeremiah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this again. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
So Israel, the nation of Israel, these people are the Lord's inheritance. All right? That means when it all comes down to the fire, all right? When judgment comes, these people are going to be the people that the Lord saved, and only a select group of people amongst that number, right?
Psalms 147, and I'm gonna read 12.
See, the thing about the Bible, the thing about the Bible is it's not just a book that you see collecting dust. You know, your folks got a Bible, somebody go to church, and they got Bibles in their pews, and somebody's reading the same old scripture all the time. This is a book of laws, statutes, commandments, history, all right, prophecies, which that's the most important thing, prophecies. All right? It was prophesied that our people is that.
Okay. And that's what I just read to you.
That's what he's trying to break down to me, that we're all not. There's humans, yeah, but there's different nationalities and races, and what he's trying to show you is that what you were talking about earlier is the so-called Negro is not African. That's what he's trying to show you. Go ahead.
Just in a different way.
Go ahead. Psalms 147, and I'm going to read verse 12. Praise the Lord, O Jerusalem. Praise thy God, O Zion. And I'm just reading that verse to let you know who it's talking about. Who verse 19 is talking about. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Yep. So everything in the Bible was only given to the nation of Israel, to a specific people.
Because I just want to make this point clear. We're telling you that you are special. You know what I'm saying? That's straightforward to the point. Even though we're all different and all that stuff, as you say, yes, but you're special.
If your father, on your father's side, you go back to these 12 tribes, any one of these 12 tribes, you have, in the grand scope of things, superiority to all of these other nations on the planet Earth. All right, that's what the Bible is saying.
Because you said you come from France, Paris, or something like that. Did you know we ruled up there during a certain point in time in history? Yeah, see, you say you know that, but that's the point I'm making. Like, you are definitely a special person, because if it wasn't for us even being over here in slavery, you wouldn't have these buses, these stoplights, none of that stuff. It was all created by so-called Negroes, for one, and so-called Native Americans were the ones who taught these so-called white people how to survive over here. God. Yeah, they were over here eating each other.
Yeah.
And all that stuff being savages. But they had the nerve to call the so-called Native Americans Indians, which means savage.
That's what they don't teach you in history. They teach you about the founding forefathers came and they formed the first 13 colonies and went through all these great prosperous works to build this country the way it is now. What they don't teach you is that, when they got here, they didn't know how to survive in this land, which is once a utopia. They didn't have all this bullshit you see now.
And to further prove that, they don't even know how to survive to this very day. Look at the chaos America is in right now. These people they don't even know how to handle simple laws as far as like a land law. Right. You know you're supposed to let the land rest after 6 years. That's right. You know, simple stuff like that. That's why you got crops and stuff going bad. That's why they're creating GMOs.
Right. Beans, mechanical beans.
That's right. That's why you're having sinkholes and stuff like that, because they're bleeding the earth of the oil and stuff like that.
Well, where it is. But even at the same time, homeless as it is, I live in a place. I live with nature. I know how to survive. So I've been surviving this way since I was 14.
Well, see, that's an instinct that the Most High has put into us as a people to survive through hardship. Right?
But you're not supposed to be living.
You're not supposed to be living.
That's not life. You accepted it as life, but that's not life. what the brother's trying to show you. And when he said you're a special people, you see how you feel like you're from Paris? You know how they have that idea of royalty, queens, and kings and all that? You know where they got that from? They got that from your people. They took those people on that sign, they took those people down. And fast forward in time, that's why you're homeless. They were propped up as the rulers. That's how the Most High set it up. Can I get Deuteronomy 28:15? Actually, 28:1, and then give me 28:15.
All right.
Go ahead. Man, I was just about to say that.
Now, this is a book. It's named Nature Knows No Color by this guy named J.A. Rogers. All right. Now, what this guy did, I'm talking kind of loud just so the camera can hear. This guy did, he went back in history and researched the people that actually lived during what we'll call the Dark Ages, all right, which you probably heard coming up there, from about what, 395 forward AD to about the 1492 to 1500. About a 1,000-year period, all right? And what he discovered is a lot of these people, you have Germany, France, Scotland, England, all these different countries, Paris, all these different countries that are over there that are predominantly populated by Caucasians. What he showed you is that they were once populated and dominated and ruled by dark-skinned people. And when you look on to this, all right, now check this out. It says Negroes and coats of arms in noble families. Now I believe this is Germany, if I'm not mistaken. This says here in the caption. This is British. British families, top left, the Moors of Yorkshire, including Sir Thomas More, Chancellor of Henry VIII, Yorkshire Genealogist, Volume 2. Now this is in Britain. Now these are actual coats of arms. All right, like you see a knight, you see the flags, they have the little the coat, and then show there. Yep. Now these are the faces of those people. All right, that actually ruled in those lands. Going through, let me see.
There's plenty more in there. There's France is in there
This
too.
is French, Dutch, and Belgian families of names of Negro. Look at those coats of arms. That's you right there. See, now these are your people. These are our people in that area. This is what they won't teach you. Right across the street right here. This is damn sure you ain't gonna find no history teacher. It's gonna tell you this shit. This way, right here.
That's right.
Sure, just a couple more, then you got that. I think these are the same ones. Oh, French, Italian, Spanish, and Polish families. Same types of coats and arms. All right.
It's not religion right now. Just listen.
Now here comes Germany.
We'll break it down.
All right. Now Germany is really predominantly a Caucasian nation to this day. Now there's our people over there, but this when you think of Caucasian, you think of master race, Adolf Hitler, all that nonsense. You think of Germany. Look who once ruled there. Our people.
When you say that word Caucasian, do you know what that word means?
Yep, that's right.
Caucasian. Where's the Caucasus Mountains at? Georgia, Russia. That's where they came from. So-called white man, he came out of those caves, and the Lord put him in the spirit to be in power. Now, I'm giving you a whole picture. I'm not really going through the whole sequence of things, but just to give you the idea of why you're homeless and why they're on top.
That's right.
That's what we're going to show you right now.
This isn't to like dog make fun of your situation.
Man, this is the
We're
open your
just
eyes.
telling you the truth.
Every
right.
person out here is like 1 or 2 steps away from being homeless. So there's not. You may see like you see the guy with the Hummer right there. I can guarantee you, he probably didn't go into that car lot and pay cash for that car, so he has it on credit. He loses his job, the car's gone, the apartment's gone, the house is gone. Every person out here is about a step or 2 away from where you at. So there's no real gap between what you see. Now when you start dealing with the elites, that's a whole different story, right? So you shouldn't feel too bad. But what I want you to understand is that's not the way that you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to accept it. You're supposed to be mad that the cave dweller is on top of you ruling. And you're supposed to be upset at that.
That's right. You need to understand why.
Exactly. Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt not hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do
Is that
all
1 or is that 15?
This is 28:1.
Okay, start over.
This is Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
First time you said not, that's why I was like,
Oh, Salaki.
go ahead.
Diligently hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
You don't listen to the Lord and obey his commandments, his statutes, and read the Bible, or if you do obey, I did the same thing. If you obey him, go ahead.
To observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations on the
On
earth.
high above all nations on earth. If you follow the law, statutes, and commandments in this Bible. Now I'm going to ask you, have you followed the law, statutes, and commandments in this Bible? No, right? You're a pagan. So, but you still, no matter pagan or not, you're still an Israelite on that side. You're still an Israelite on that side. And because you want to be a pagan, go ahead and go to verse 15.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses
will come upon you. If
Shall
you
come-
don't do what he says, all these curses will come upon you
and overtake thee.
and overtake thee. And that's why we look like we look now.
And do you mind if I read this real quick in that verse? This is verse 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and
Nigger. What's a proverb? A nigger, an African American,
calling yourself Creole.
Creole. All those are proverbs and bywords. What you should be calling yourself is, if you're from the tribe if you're a so-called Negro, you should be calling yourself Judah. A West Indian, Benjamin, and so on. Right? If you're a so-called Mexican, you should be calling yourself Yashashkar. Right? But you don't do it. You don't do it. You call yourself Creole. You call yourself African American. So all the curses that are written in that book are going to overtake you. And that's what's happening to you, right? All the good that you're thinking that you're doing, how come nothing never works out? Give me Amos 3 and just start at the top. How come nothing ever works out? How come life is, man, I'm going to church. I'm paying money in church.
All right, I appreciate y'all.
You won't be on these streets for long, so you say. Right now, you're still on the streets.
No idea.
And the fact that you were on the streets to begin with, you can't act like just because you got a little gig now, like all the pastors, everything, none of that counts. You still should feel messed up inside that you have to go through all of that. And you dealing with music. Is it music? What was it? Contortionist. The higher you get into the entertainment industry, the more and more it gets satanic. And you know it. Because you're a pagan. But you down with it anyway, right? And even through all of that, you're still an Israelite on that side. Can I get Amos 3 and just start at the top, and whoever had it, we'll go right back to it.
This is Amos chapter 3 verse 1, brother, you good. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken
Whether
against
you think you're a pagan, I don't care what you think you are. I don't care what you, in the term African American, I don't know why people take it to apply to the so-called Negro so well, because if you're a so-called white man born in Africa, you're African, right? Is that right? Your citizenship will be African. If you come over here, you'll be, and you get dual citizenship, what will you be? You'll be an African American. No.
You didn't listen to the point he said.
You will be an African American by your standard of thinking. If I'm born in America, you're American. If you're born in Africa, you're an African. Yeah. You know you think like that. Don't try to wiggle your way out of it. You know people think like that. So that same so-called white man, born in Africa, comes here with dual citizenship. He's an African American.
That's right.
You can't think in terms of like you're a tree. I was born in America, therefore I'm an American. Because I was, like you, planted in the ground. The land is American, the people are from nations in the Bible. It's not the same thing.
Can I say this? And then this